Liliane Cheaito has suffered silently in hospital ever since the Beirut port explosion in 2020. Her scratchy, laboured breathing continues until a nurse appears at her bedside to empty her lungs of built-up phlegm. She sustained severe damage to her frontal brain lobes, leaving her in a months-long coma. She needed 3 operations. But the quiet halls of the American University of Beirut's medical centre have not shielded her from Lebanon's economic collapse. Instead, Cheaito and her family are trapped in their country's multiple crises. From a deteriorating health sector that is struggling to treat her, to paralysed government institutions and banks that have frozen her family out of their savings. Cheaito's sister, Nassma, says she reflects the struggle of everyday people.
Liliane really represents our suffering. She represents how the Lebanese people, how we are still resisting through everything we are going through. They deprived us of our money. They are depriving us of access to healthcare and women's rights. Liliane represents all these things because she is suffering from all of them. She really represents the agony of the Lebanese people.
Cheaito's hospital informed the family in February that the charity covering the costs of her stay could no longer afford to do so. She will have to move to a specialised rehabilitation centre to pursue her treatment, something they cannot pay for, even though Cheaito's sister has the savings to help. Since the financial crisis took hold in 2019, many of Lebanon's banks have frozen clients out of their hard currency through informal capital controls. They cap monthly cash withdrawals in US dollars and allow limited amounts to be withdrawn in Lebanese pounds at a rate much lower than the parallel market rate. Cheaito's family and lawyer say the restrictions are hampering her recovery, as withdrawing the funds at the lower rate would slash their worth. His co-founder of the Lebanese Depositors Union, Fuad Debs.
Nawal has saved money and now she needs the money to spend on Liliane, but the bank, and in this case it's Bank Audi, one of the biggest banks in Lebanon, and probably one of the banks that has done the most violations, that is not letting Nawal withdraw the money. And if she wants to withdraw the money, it's going to be at a loss of anything between 80 to 90% of the value of its money, of Nawal's money.
A Bank Audi spokesperson told Reuters that restrictions are imposed by the Lebanese systemic crisis, not by Bank Audi, adding that the bank was generally keen to provide exceptional support, including to pay for medical care. But they did not say whether it had specifically allowed withdrawals for her family to pay for her care. Debs said Cheaito's case would be one of the most desperate if they could file the complaint. An open-ended strike in the court system has meant the union has been unable to file a complaint against Bank Audi for the last month.